Here are the most recent deaths in the national news, as reported at Legacy.com in the second week of February 2026. Visit Legacy.com to read full obituaries for most of the people featured in this video and leave your own condolences on their Legacy page. Baseball player Mickey Lolich died February 4, 2026 at a care facility in Sterling Heights, Michigan at the age of 85. He was a left-handed pitcher for the Detroit Tigers in the 1960s and 70s, a three-time All-Star who set a record for career strikeouts by a lefty. Lolich is being remembered as a hero of the 1968 World Series when he pitched 3 full games to help the Tigers to victory over the St. Louis Cardinals. He was named the World Series MVP. Hot rodder Ed Iskenderian died February 4, 2026 in Los Angeles at the age of 104. He was a hot rodding pioneer who began racing on California's dry lake beds in the 1930s and built his passion for speed into a storied career designing and fabricating aftermarket parts for hot rods. He is being remembered as the Camfather for his game-changing camshafts and as a member of the Motorsports Hall of Fame of America. Iskenderian was a U.S. Army Air Forces veteran of World War II. Football player Sonny Jurgensen died February 6, 2026 in Naples, Florida at the age of 91. He was a Hall of Fame quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles and Washington Redskins, who is considered one of the NFL's all-time greatest passers. Jurgensen is also being remembered for his later career in broadcasting, covering Washington on radio and TV for decades. Singer and songwriter Brad Arnold died February 7, 2026 after fighting kidney cancer at the age of 47. He was the lead singer for the rock band Three Doors Down. He was just 15 years old when he wrote their hit single Kryptonite, and he also co-wrote popular songs like Here Without You and When I'm Gone. Arnold is being remembered for sharing his Christian faith with his fans, talking about it at concerts and in interviews. Musician and songwriter Greg Brown died February 7, 2026 after a brief illness. He was the founding guitarist for Cake, playing on the indie rock band's first 2 albums, including the double platinum Fashion Nugget. Brown is being remembered for writing the band's 1996 hit The Distance and playing on tracks like Jolene and Rock and Roll Lifestyle. Musician Fred Smith died February 5, 2026 at the age of 77. He was the bassist for the influential punk band Television, playing on albums like their iconic debut Marquee Moon. Smith is being remembered for anchoring Television's stripped-down sound with his melodic bass lines. Baseball player Terrance Gore died February 6, 2026 of complications from surgery at the age of 34. He played for such teams as the Kansas City Royals, Los Angeles Dodgers, and Atlanta Braves, winning a World Series with each team. Gore is being remembered for his remarkable speed. He was a pinch runner who excelled at stealing bases and scoring runs. Football player Barry Wilburn died February 6, 2026 in Memphis, Tennessee. He died in a house fire at the age of 62. He was a cornerback for the Washington Redskins in the 1980s, and his 2 interceptions helped them win Super Bowl XXII against the Denver Broncos. Wilburn is also being remembered for his years in the Canadian Football League, including winning a Grey Cup with the BC Lions. He was one of only a handful of players to win both a Super Bowl and a Grey Cup. Football coach Ray Handley died February 5, 2026 at the age of 81. He was head coach for the New York Giants for 2 seasons in the 1990s, just after their Super Bowl XXV victory, during which the team faltered from its previous heights. Handley is also being remembered for his more successful years as the Giants' offensive backfield coach from 1984 to 1990. Football player Tracy Scroggins died February 9, 2026 at the age of 56. He spent all 10 of his NFL seasons with the Detroit Lions, ending his career with 60.5 sacks, among the highest in franchise history. Scroggins is being remembered as a popular player and a good person. A note to remember, sometimes personal information such as someone's cause of death is not announced immediately by their family or the authorities. When a cause of death has not been officially confirmed, we do not report on rumors. Every family has a right to their privacy. Performer and professor Philippe Gaulier died February 9, 2026 of complications from a lung infection at the age of 82. He was a legendary French clown who was renowned for teaching generations of performers how to be funny at the school he founded. Gaulier is being remembered for teaching such stars as Sacha Baron Cohen, Emma Thompson, Helena Bonham Carter, and many more. Musician Andrew Ranken died February 10, 2026 at the age of 72. He was the longtime drummer for the Pogues, playing on classic albums like Rum Sodomy and the Lash and If I Should Fall from Grace with God. Ranken is being remembered as the Clobberer for his work as the heartbeat of the band's energetic music. Actor James Van Der Beek died February 11, 2026 after fighting colorectal cancer at the age of 48. He became an icon of millennial TV when he starred as Dawson Leary in Dawson's Creek, one of the most popular teen shows of the 90s and 2000s. Van Der Beek is also being remembered for his performances in movies and TV shows like Varsity Blues and Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23. Actor Bud Cort died February 11, 2026 in Connecticut. He died of complications from pneumonia after a long illness at the age of 77. His iconoclastic career was highlighted by his starring performance as Harold in the cult classic black comedy Harold and Maude. Cort is also being remembered for such films as MASH, Brewster McCloud, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, and Dogma. At least 8 people were killed in a series of shootings on February 10, 2026 at a school and a home in Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia. February is American Heart Month, and I want to mention that so many of the remarkable obituaries published on Legacy.com this past year have been dedicated in support of the American Heart Association. Like this Texas grandfather, whose family remembers him as, quote, a man who lived like he was late for a car show, fought like a scrapper to keep doing what he loved, and left us all wishing we could have taken one more lap around the track with him. This beloved grandmother and dental hygienist who loved dancing so much that when she passed away, her family held a commemorative dance with proceeds benefiting the American Heart Association. And this respected surgeon, born in Taiwan but a Chicago doctor for many decades, whose children remember him as a trusting and supportive father who taught them the important life lesson, do what you want to do. To read their life stories and to donate in support of American Heart Month, go to Legacy.com and click on our heart disease memorial today. In addition to featuring current deaths in the news, Legacy.com also honors the lives and legacies of notable people who died in the past. Here are some of this week's anniversaries. 12 years ago this week, actress and diplomat Shirley Temple died at the age of 85. She became the biggest star in Hollywood by the time she was just 6 years old, beloved for her curls and winning smile, her natural screen presence, and her performances of songs like On the Good Ship Lollipop. 14 years ago this week, singer and actress Whitney Houston died at the age of 48. She was the only artist ever to have a string of 7 consecutive singles top the Billboard Hot 100, and her 1992 rendition of I Will Always Love You remains the all-time best-selling single by a woman. 20 years ago this week, author Peter Benchley died at the age of 65. He co-wrote the blockbuster movie adaptation of his 1974 bestseller Jaws. His other popular novels included The Deep and Beast. 50 years ago this week, actor Sal Mineo died at the age of 37. He was just 17 when he was Oscar nominated for Rebel Without a Cause, and he went on to star in movies like Giant, Exodus, and Escape from the Planet of the Apes. Actor Burt Reynolds was born 90 years ago this week. He died in September 2018 at the age of 82. He was a massive star of the 1970s and 80s in movies like The Longest Yard, Smokey and the Bandit, and The Cannonball Run, and he starred on TV in Gunsmoke and Evening Shade. Actor Leslie Nielsen was born 100 years ago this week. He died in November 2010 at the age of 84. After getting his start as a serious actor in movies like The Poseidon Adventure, he found his calling as the deadpan star of absurd comedies like Airplane and The Naked Gun. Every week in the United States, flags are lowered to half-staff to honor the lives of Americans whose communities are mourning their loss. Here are the most recent half-staff memorial flag honors. Flags in Arizona have been lowered to honor the memory of Arizona Department of Public Safety State Trooper Paramedic Hunter R. Bennett and Pilot Air Rescue Aviation Supervisor Robert B. Skanke, both of whom died in the line of duty. Flags in New York have been lowered to honor the memory of Correction Officer Charlie Hall. Flags in New Jersey have been lowered to honor the memory of Sergeant First Class Trooper Sean William Acker. Flags in New Jersey have also been lowered to honor the memory of Camden firefighter Howard Bennett. You can read more about the lives of the people featured in this video on Legacy.com. Follow Legacy.com on Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube to stay up to date on national news deaths.